Hi there, I am Maggie Vallejo-Skipson. I am a former teacher at Landmark High School and Richmond Community High School, and in both places I had advisory families, and I'm making this little video for Charlie because he was an amazing teacher that I taught with at Landmark. And I hear you guys are debating having advisories. I keep calling them advisories families. In Landmark we called it advisory. In Richmond Community we called it our families. Same concept, same thing. So yeah, I'm going to talk to you about some of the pros, some of the cons, and the biggest takeaway is that I strongly recommend it. I thought it was incredibly beneficial in both schools. There were some pros and there were some cons, so I just wrote some notes to kind of go over all of that with you guys. So again, I experienced it 2 times at 2 different schools. My first school, Landmark High School, was a Title I school for socioeconomically disadvantaged children, and our kids came with issues, and I think that's kind of everywhere. Teenage years are tough. There's also Richmond Community High School. It was a magnet school. Same idea. It was a school made for socioeconomically disadvantaged children, but they had to apply to it, and it was hard to get into and all that jazz. But I taught an advisory / family in both of them. At Landmark High School, I was a kind of a brand new teacher. I had taught in the Peace Corps before, so I had experience teaching, but I didn't have any experience really teaching in advisory. So when I taught I was given an advisor at Landmark High School, and I loved the idea. I always liked it. I thought of myself more as a counselor / coach, and it was really hard for a new teacher. I think it was really amazing when I was a more experienced teacher. Some of the benefits of advisory is you get to have these really close relationships with students, and you could be their confidant, which is really important at that age, I think. It's an age where kids, they kind of know everything. So if you can be an adult point person that can maybe guide them or just kind of help them through this tumultuous time of maybe making better decisions or giving them the skills in their toolbox to make better decisions, which you do with, we would have talks in our advisory. Like, one day would be like a debate on, some hot topic debates, and when you give kids those skill sets to debate these things and kind of see other perspectives, I think that's a really important thing, especially at that age. You also have the ability to be their confidant, so if there is any trouble at home or at school, you are a possible contact or point person for that child, which I think is really important. As a new teacher, it was incredibly hard. There is a lot of freedom when you come with planning advisory, and it could be hard to cultivate those new relationships and figure out being a new teacher. So that was one of my hardest things with being an advisor at Landmark, as opposed to being a family head advisor at Richmond Community, is I already had a lot of experience, or 2 years of experience when I got to Richmond Community. And yes, I had trouble kids in both places. My kids in Richmond, they had a lot less issues, I would say. Both my kids, I'm still very close with a lot of my advisees that I taught at Landmark, and I'm very close with a lot of my advisees that I taught at Richmond Community. So that was really nice, and it's really nice to hear, to help them with college stuff, to help them with high school stuff. I think advisory is really important. I think it should start in middle school personally, because again, kids are at that age where they know everything. Talking becomes harder, especially now with technology. All kids, I don't know. I think it's an important thing to have a place where you have open discussions and just kind of free discussions. So, and activities and close things. I mean, there was like the warm and fuzzies too on Valentine's Day, making crafts, Christmas time, gingerbread houses. But the nitty gritty is, talking about hot topics that were going on in the world, hot topics that are going on for teenagers, drugs, alcohol, sex, things that are not really going to get talked about in class. And maybe not even at home, so it was really nice to have. It's hard, but it's nice to have that outlet at school for them. My advice would be, if you have a new teacher, to kind of have them be under watch of an experienced teacher. And I think you need help when rolling out this plan, because I think it's kind of important for everybody to have like a skeleton of what they'll kind of follow for advisory. Or if you have a lot of people that are on board and really excited, like get down some ideas that you want to make sure that everybody covers these topics or ideas, or just kind of covers them throughout the year. Certain activities that everyone will do. I think that's nice and important, because it's kind of sad when, you have one advisory that does like a ton of stuff, and there's another advisory that's like, they're not happy to be there. They think it's a waste of time because the teacher doesn't know what to do with this given time/space. And it's not necessarily their fault. It's just, it's a lot of freedom. So you need to kind of have somebody help plan stuff out for it, I think. All in all, I think it was an asset. I think it was a super important thing to have. I loved doing it when my first year was really rough. My second year was a lot better when I was at Landmark. And then I moved to Richmond, Virginia. That was in New York City. I moved to Richmond, Virginia, and I just loved family. And I loved my advisory, and I went back for their graduation when I went back to New York City to see my kids graduate, and I went back to, I moved again. I went back to Richmond, Virginia to watch my kids graduate there. You just get these really close bonds with a group of students, and it's really nice. I think it's an important time in their lives to have something like that, and I don't know, I wholeheartedly recommend it. I hope you guys implement it. I am Dominican. I said this in English because I thought I'd get my point across better. Hopefully I did. So I wish you guys all the best of luck. I am open to any questions or concerns you guys may have. Feel free to contact me. I'll send Charlie all my contact info, but I wish you guys the best of luck, and I hope you guys have a successful advisory program at your school, or family program. Quite personally, I preferred it being called family, because that's what I saw it as, is it was your family at school. So hopefully that helps, and I hope you guys all have a great day. Happy New Year, and good luck.